statement or two, and then we'll open it up for questions.
This was just a great women's basketball game. I feel really fortunate to be a coach in Northwest Ohio. Dayton is an extremely strong program, and for to play in this type of atmosphere, it just makes a statement for women's basketball. Yesterday you had UConn Stanford on TV. I feel like the nation watched that, but if you're in the Midwest, this was the game to watch on TV, and this was the game to be at. Honestly, it was two programs that are very, very strong, yet Dayton this year is having an unbelievable season. They were 12-0 coming into this game. Honestly, they have a ranking of 15 nationally, but I think they should have been in the top 10. They're extremely talented. They're well coached. If you had to ask me who would I vote for Coach of the Year at the end of the season nationally, I'd vote for Jim Jaber. He has lost every starter, returns very few points from last year's team, and now has recruited his tail off and got an unbelievable class in there, and they play exceptionally hard for him. But with that said, this was a win against a nationally ranked team at the Stroh Center. Volleyball had done it against Michigan State last year, so I'm really proud of our kids that they can say when they go to bed at night, like, yeah, we got to win just like volleyball did last year. We got it against University of Dayton. So I could not be more thrilled for them. Just like a typical 18 to 22-year-old, I think they're probably more excited that they get the day off tomorrow than with the win today, because we've been going 2-a-days. They have not been happy with me. We've challenged them, and we're working them really hard to, especially shooting and working offensively. So they're ecstatic about the day off tomorrow. But so with that said, I thought we did a good job of controlling tempo. I told a couple other people as I was walking in here, I felt like an NFL judge signaling touchdown every time because I didn't want Jillian to bring up the ball up the floor very, very fast at all. So this is a team, Dayton, that averages 83 points per game, leads in every statistical category over us. You can't give them enough accolades what they're doing statistically. They've played 3 MAC opponents so far, and they've beaten them by an average of 23 points. This is a team that beat number 13 ranked Vanderbilt, won at DePaul, beat Arizona State out of the Pac-12 or Pac-14, whatever the conference is now, and on their home floor. So this is a team that has had some good wins. But I'll tell you this, I'm really happy that we got them now, because any 2 games that coaches are most nervous about, to be honest with you, are the game right before Christmas, because you don't know if your kids are on Christmas break or if they're ready to play, in the first game right after Christmas, because you don't know if they're wishing they were still at home or at the mall returning the present from Aunt Sally that doesn't fit or they don't want, or if they're ready to be back. So this is a big trap game. So we needed to come out and execute on all cylinders for us to be successful today. And I thought we executed our game plan because Dayton shoots an average of 15 to 17 more field goals attempted than we do per game. We needed to have that at a smaller number. So they're doing that over everybody. So we wanted to control tempo big time, and I thought we did that. I thought we did a great job on the defensive and offensive boards as well. We out-rebounded them by 4, and this is a team that starts 6'3", 6'4", comes off the bench with another 6'4" kid. So we are diminutive in stature compared to them. So it was a big effort today. And for us taking care of the ball and not having turnovers, and I felt like everybody in the crowd was counting down the shot clock multiple times, especially my father, yelling. But I was fine if we had the turnover at the end of the shot clock, because that meant Dayton didn't get the ball. So when you average 15 to 17 more field goals attempted than another team, and they shoot almost 50% from the field, that's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. So we wanted to reduce the number of possessions, and I'm most proud about that we were able to control tempo and win the battle of the glass.
Defensively, how did you get them to turn the ball over 21 times in your eyes?
It's a good question. I'll have to watch the film. No, I thought they run a similar offensive series that we do, so we were very familiar with that. They're very similar in some of their defensive strategies as well, but I thought we did a good job of getting in passing lanes, honestly, and typically we send one person back and let 4 others rebound. Today we sent 2 people back to eliminate their transition game. They're a team that shoots anywhere between 28 and 24 seconds almost on every possession, and we wanted them to work the ball. Even though they've had a tremendous amount of success this year, they have a freshman in Amber Dean. They have a sophomore in Andrea Hoover. So they've got two young wings, and we knew that if they couldn't get that immediate hit right away, that we were going to force them to work the ball, and we did that. I thought we did a good job of, especially Lex Rogers. I mean, she had 6 steals and got a ton of deflections, and she was even in foul trouble tonight. With that said, but we were able to get in passing lanes, and that made a big difference because their transition game is second to none. When you beat BCS school after BCS school like they're doing, I mean, they don't have a lot of weaknesses, but that's their strength of their offense this year.
You're rattling off all these stats about the team, and obviously they were nowhere near what they normally play. Do you feel that you guys were playing to the best of your ability and you really did execute, or maybe Dayton just was in that trap game that you were talking about, didn't really come to play today, maybe they beat themselves?
You can look at it, it's half full or half empty, 6 of one, half dozen other, whatever cliche you want to use, but at the end of the day, we still shoot 33% and win by 20-25. So did we set any records offensively? No. I mean, we had more open looks today than I ever thought we would, and still struggled big time to put it in the basket. So, I thought they did it as well as time. They had open looks. I will say, when you have open looks and it's not going in, pressure mounts. Both ways. I thought we had a lot of pressure on our shoulders. You look at Chrissy Steffen, I thought she was really quiet in the first half, and she came up to me at halftime and is apologizing profusely, and I'm like, just keep shooting, let it fly. I mean, there's nothing more you can do. It's not like I'm going to stop running plays for you, kiddo. So, but how you respond to that pressure after you've missed your first or your second or your third one, it tells a lot about who you are, but then it tells you about who's got still more confidence. I thought our kids had confidence throughout the game. I mean, we play at UMass before break, and that's our trap game. We were down as many as by 7, and we came back and win. Lex Rogers makes a bunch of foul shots down the stretch, and honestly, I thought that game showed us more about how mentally tough we were than anything else, and that game being down helped us today more than anything. But yeah, this was a game under the bright lights, and both teams I felt were a little tight shooting the ball, and like I said, even though we only shot 33%, we were able to come out with a victory.
What was it that got the offense going in the second half, though? I mean, you're shooting 26% in the first half, 1 of 9 on threes, and was it just a matter of making a couple of shots to get the confidence rolling, or?
Coach Shaver changed up we made a little bit of run there. I forgot at what minute mark it was. We had a shot behind a double ball screen up top, and then Chrissy made her 5 consecutive points, and then she had a driving layup. They changed their defensive strategy. We were able to recognize that, steal a play call, and made 2 play calls back to back that helped that spurt. So I thought our coaching staff did a good job of recognizing when they were jamming us, when they were hedging us, when they were hedging this particular person and then jamming someone else. So they ran a gamut of defenses against our ball screens, but we did a good job of taking advantage of it when we needed to. And honestly, that 5-0 run by Chrissy herself was a big key. And I think that layup was the bucket that gave her 1,000 point tonight. So it was pretty good karma for her.
You mentioned what the win means to the school. You mentioned what it means to the players. What does it mean for you? It's your first year. This is your biggest game that you've won. What does it mean to you
told my parents they're buying me dinner tonight, so I bought dinner last night, but that's all it means. This is not, I'll be honest with you, when I took this job, when Christopher offered it to me, and I took it, and I went to the podium the next day for our press conference. This is about coaches that have come before me. This is about all the alums that are in the program before. So this is a program not just about the coach that's in place today or about the particular high scorer or Chrissy getting her 1,000-point today. This is an all-encompassing. When you lived in Northwest Ohio, this is basketball's in your blood. When 2,000 people come out here, this is a game for the fans. This is a game for our program. This is a game for the alums. And this team will remember this, but it's about them, you know, first and foremost. So, like I said, I'll get dinner out of my parents, and that's about as far as I'll take it. But I'm just happy for everybody that's come before us, and we'll be able to look at this at the end of the year and be like, wow, we gave them their first loss. But other than that, this is about the program, not about one person.
Coach, were you surprised after the game that the team didn't show a lot of emotion? You know, like we just beat number 15 team in the nation by 25 points and just kind of went about their business, shook hands, and went out saying the alma mater.
This team surprises me every day. So to be honest with you, so I wanted them to be excited, but as we've said, and you know, I've been mentored by Kurt Miller, and you've been mentored by some other coaches as well. You got to act like you've been there before. I mean, bottom line. And even though we've never beaten a team ranked this highly of late, I guess Vanderbilt in 07 was our most recent. But this was, like I said, they're 18 to 22-year-olds. I think they're more. I think they celebrated in the locker room because they realized they had a day off. So I think day off is written in on the dry erase board in about 72 fonts. More than anything else. So I'm happy to give them that day off so they know it'll be a tough practice again on New Year's Day.
The other thing, the follow-up would be, Alexis said that everybody kind of, I'm paraphrasing, came out with their game face on. They had their emotions inside of them and they were ready to play. Did you see that too, that maybe it was just not business as usual, but everybody was really focused on what they had to do?
I think they were. You know, and the same thing could kind of be asked of me. You know, I've been more animated on the sideline in previous games, and I wanted to let things play out and be really positive today. And I think you saw that. You know, am I playing off their lead or are they playing off my lead? I don't know. But I thought they had a very workman, blue-collar, business-like approach today that we'll need to continue to have. Because honestly, they'll be excited about this, and I'll let them, you know, cherish it for tomorrow as well. But we got to get Central Florida. I mean, that's an unbelievably talented team led by a freshman, averages almost 20 points a game, and you know, I'm going home to watch them later tonight. But it's you have to look at it one game at a time. If you don't, it's too long of a season to get caught up doing that stuff.
I think most people were leaving today not expecting, you know, didn't expect to see what they saw as far as a 25-point game. I mean, coming into this thing, what were you preparing for?
I was preparing for a really, really physical game. Honestly, I thought there would be even more, there's 42 foul shots taken. I was expecting it to honestly to be between 50 and 60. Dayton is extremely, extremely physical. They set a ton of ball screens. We set a ton of ball screens as well. When you get one team setting so many screens, I thought it would get a little ticky-tack and a lot of fouls called. I thought a lot more people would be in foul trouble, honestly, and it was going to have to grind it out at the foul line. So we did made our foul shots tonight and got to the line, but I thought honestly it'd get a little bit chippy because they didn't want to lose and we didn't want to lose at all, and because it's two really physical teams going at each other. Like I said, and they've got the size, so I was unsure. Honestly, I thought for sure, as you saw at the very end, I mean, Jillian got rocked on a screen, almost got a bloody nose. Someone else got rocked on a screen. I mean, it was just going to be physical. Bottom line, it was going to be a hard-fought game. And because of Coach Jaber running a similar offensive style to us, except the transition game. He owns that. He's done a fantastic job with that. But running all of Austrian offenses is similar to what we do. It was going to be a little bit of tick for tack, you know, and how were you going to defend that? If we ran into screens, Sam McKay was just going to kill us and score all day long and turn the corner. And you got that a little bit at the end of the first half with her penetrating, kicking to Kelly Austria for a couple of shots right there. But who was going to get worn out by running into screens? As silly as that sounds, because if you add it up, I mean, there's easily 150, 160 screens set between the two teams. You just get tired. As you all well know from playing in the media day game, it's not fun to get hit with screens. So you're looking at two physical teams. But I thought for sure both teams would be more in foul trouble. I thought the officials did a really good job of tonight of controlling that. They let you play at the right times, and then they called the fouls at the right times to keep the kind of primetime players in the game. And they did that. In fact, they did that. They were really smart. That's a veteran crew.
How much did you use last year's game with Dayton as motivation? You mentioned it, ignored it?
We give them a scouting report. I put the box score in it. I refused to watch it until last night. I watched almost every other game of Dayton this year, and I watched it last night before I went to bed, and it was awful. I mean, Dayton they were fantastic. So they earned the win last year, but I did not use that at all. Last year is last year. This year is this year. It's a completely different team. They lost every single starter.
And also, when you mentioned you were having these two-in-days, what was kind of the focus there? Was it back to fundamentals, working on something specific, or what was the goal of the two-a-days? Just to get people's attention?
The focus, honestly, we have had anywhere from a half hour to 45 minutes to a straight and out of just a shooting practice. No contact. You're just going to shoot until your arm gets tired. And we've taken a ton of shots. So we've had a shooting practice every day since we've gotten back. We've thrown in some conditioning, and honestly, we haven't played a whole lot against each other because this is the longest break we've ever had in my tenure here. It's the longest break I've ever had as a college coach either, and for a player, the longest break they've ever had. We had some weather issues with kids coming back, so I wanted to make sure that we were making up our time appropriately, and I just wanted to shoot. Like I said, I've been mentored by Kurt Miller, and the biggest thing he taught me was, can't win if you can't score. So we wanted to shoot, and every day we've done that with strictly anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, no contact drills, and then we'll play and Dayton prep afterwards. So, and they needed to get in the gym.
Anything else?
Real quick.
Yes.
Ask the players. I'll ask you. Besides basketball, what are your New Year's resolutions?
My New Year's resolution is I need to work out. I joined the Wood County YMCA, and I have yet to be there. They were taking my money, so I need to go use my membership. So I need to get in there and start running. And I did buy a crock pot, so I'm